be saved. Thus the promise of God was maintained. Thus all true souls were called to the light. Let their darkness be lifted, let their hearts be made whole. When Mary's babe smiled, he conveyed truth and grace. Let their darkness be lifted, let their hearts be made whole. When Mary's babe smiled, he conveyed truth and grace. Then 3 wise men came from afar, guided by a heavenly star. Then 3 wise men came from afar, guided by a heavenly star. Christ, the light of God, had descended. Christ, the light of God, had come. That receiving him, all might be saved, all might be saved. 3 wise men came, guided by a star, to do honor and welcome the Christ born on earth. 3 wise men came, guided by a star, to do honor and welcome the Christ born on earth.
In many ways, I think this is my favorite event of the year, World Brotherhood Day. We've had it, as Catherine said when she welcomed us all, for 26 years now. And the idea behind it is that as the holy season comes into focus each year, that rather than begin to allow our hearts to contract, we take that opportunity to allow our hearts to expand. So instead of thinking about us, my family, what presents am I going to give, or even worse, what presents am I going to get, we begin to think in terms of the whole world, what we can give. And the title of the event, World Brotherhood Day, is significant and symbolic of the consciousness of God that spreads throughout the world, touching everyone and everything. I've been reading, in fact, I just finished recently, the manuscript of an absolutely fascinating book by Purushottama and Vyasa on the yugas. And it's beautifully, beautifully done. It's really mind-expanding. I don't know what the publishing date is. I think sometime in the fall, but all of you are going to want to get it. But one of the things that they make very clear is that when the yugas begin to descend from the high yuga of Satya Yuga down through Treta Yuga and Dwapara Yuga and finally into Kali Yuga, what happens is in Satya Yuga, the consciousness of mankind is unified because at the highest level, everybody understands that they're part of one God and that the one God is everything, is everyone. There's harmony, there's beautiful interaction and cooperation between nature and mankind. Gradually that descends a little bit, but still during Treta Yuga, mankind is aware telepathically of its unity with everyone else on the whole planet and everything else on the whole planet. Now, during Satya Yuga and Treta Yuga, you don't need World Brotherhood days because every day is a World Brotherhood day. Everybody understands constantly our interconnection. But then gradually, as we descend into Dwapara Yuga, the consciousness decreases, enlightenment decreases, and we begin to understand that somehow we're connected through energy, somehow we're connected in a vague way, but our immediate connection with God has been lost. Our immediate telepathic connection with each other has been lost. And toward the end of Dwapara Yuga, we sink into something that is going to last now for some thousands of years, which is one of the most pernicious of all things, and that's self-interest. And so from these high ages we come down, and more we come into an age of self-interest. And then we lose even the sense of connection with anything, even physically. Continents seem separate from each other. Cultures seem separate. Languages are separate. Little village, tribal, warring states, all separation. And then we come out. But unfortunately, we are still in an age that is ruled by self-interest. I mean, I'm not going to make a political statement, but we see it in the discussions that are going on right now about whether to help the climate of the planet, whether to maybe make a little bit of sacrifice for untold future generations and untold thousands and thousands of people that will be affected. But there's a huge conscious thought of, yeah, but is it going to affect my bottom line? And this tendency to pull back for self-interest. Well, we're gradually coming out of that, but we aren't out of it yet. And if we want to do something of good and worth in our life, we have to work as emissaries of light, emissaries of love, emissaries of compassion and consciousness, to bring energy and light and connectiveness back into the world. And that's what World Brotherhood Day is about. And that's why it's so important that we start the holy season with the widest possible consciousness that everyone in this world is our brother. And so the gifts that we are given, typically during this time, we ask each person to give 1 day's wages to to the furtherance of this light into the world. And so with that gift, what we have been able to do through Ananda Sangha, both for 40 years in the past, coming up till now, is to bring the consciousness that Master came to counter the contractive state of our society today, to give it a doorway, a expansive way out, but not just in vague terms, in very clear terms, with meditation techniques, with specific attitudes, with thousands of different ideas and teachings and ways of expanding our consciousness to help spread that light into the world. Now, a small group, relatively small, we're growing, but throughout the world, we're Ananda in our communities. Residential population is 1,000 people or so. Our congregation and so on are some tens of thousands of people. Still, in a world of 6 billion people, that's relatively small. We have 7 communities throughout the world. We can only physically be in so many places at the same time, a small group of people. But thankfully, in this sense, the trend of Dwapara Yuga is helping us, because Dwapara Yuga through technology is breaking down a sense of space and time and separation. As Catherine was saying, not only do all of us here in this one single location, as we have for all the years past, only those of us who are here have been able to share this evening. Tonight, for the first time ever, people throughout the world can share this evening with us. And so Ananda has been able to reach out through the internet. We've just finished, thanks to the help of all of you and thousands of others, like all of us in the room tonight, we've been able to finish a 3-year project to have a new rendition of our Ananda web, ananda.org, our website. The increase in traffic has been nearly 50% since the release of that, meaning that we're reaching hundreds of thousands of more people. One of the most exciting projects of the year and continuing into this next year is that we have many teaching centers around the country, but if you add them all up, you might get 25 or 30 teaching centers. Now we have some several 100 million teaching centers throughout the world because we're releasing our teachings on online courses. So anyone with a computer becomes a teaching center. Isn't that wonderful? So we have a number of courses up already. How to meditate. I've forgotten them all. Maybe Davey can remember them. But we have about 7 or 8 courses up, and through the succeeding months of this coming year, we'll get more and more up until we have virtually all of our courses. Everything that we teach in person to person, we'll be able to have anyone in the world learn those skills and that information. And so the ability to spread this consciousness is increasing because of the technology. But if it were only numbers, and if it were only technology, and if it were only, I don't know, kind of a faceless computer that is your connection, that wouldn't be very much. What is at the heart of all of it is the love for each other, to the true sense of world brotherhood, the caring about the welfare and the conditions of others that we know and that we may not know. And in this sense, what Swami has done in the last 2 months or so in the formation of the new Nayaswami order is incredibly important, because as the energy expands in terms of volume or capacity or quantity, it has to, if it's going to be vibrant, also go deeper and deeper. And so this coming on Christmas Eve day, there are about 75 people approved for various levels of taking vows. And so in Assisi, month or so ago, there were about 20 people who took Nayaswami vows. And so this increasing depth where the understanding is that the only purpose to life is to live it in order to know God and to serve God in all, that will become a centering point and a foundation for the building of this work throughout the world. So it's with great pleasure that I am able to thank everyone for coming tonight and to help all of us to understand that the only purpose for our life is to live in attunement to God's will and to help God's will reach out and uplift the lives of every person on the planet.
Well, if I could characterize what I have experienced in the growth of Ananda's work this year, I would say this is the year of the little frog. You all know Master's story of the big frog and the little frog, and the big frog was churning the milk, and finally he just churned and churned and churned, and that's what building Ananda these past 40 years has felt like, the big frog swimming around in the bucket. And then finally he just got too tired and he sank beneath the milk in the bucket, and that was the end of him. But the little frog, and that's all of us, we just kept churning. We just kept saying we're going to do whatever we can. Money is never enough. Resources are never enough. There's always obstacles. There's always setbacks, but we're just going to keep churning. And somehow I am so happy to say that in this year, we finally churn the milk enough that there's butter that we can stand on. And it just feels like there has risen up under our feet through the tapasya, the sacrifice, the dedication, but more important than any of that, the deep devotion to God. Through all of these things, a ground swell of support and blessing has risen up under our feet. And I can feel, last night I had a dream. I can feel Ananda's, the impact of what Master has given the world through Ananda is starting to find soil in which to sprout. Last night I had a dream that I was in Assisi, which we were a few weeks ago, but we were walking around, and Anand, who's one of the directors there, was showing me all the new buildings. And then it became kind of a cross between our work in Pune, where we have this very fledgling little community surrounded by high-rise apartment buildings that are going up. And as Anand was showing me, there were all these high-rise apartment buildings all around Assisi. And he said, and these are going to be the residences for our new community. And there were thousands of rooms. And I woke up and I thought, somehow it's starting to feel like that. It's starting to feel that instead of pushing against a wall of resistance, there is a wind in our sails, and it is moving us across this world of Maya, carrying, just as Master's wonderful poem, God's Boatman, just carrying us along with Master out into this world of Maya to help people everywhere. And I wanted to share with you this evening 10 testimonials. I mean, we can say how much our work is growing, but to hear how it helps other people throughout the world is, I find, extremely moving. So here are 10 testimonials we have selected from thousands, and I mean thousands, that we have received this year. And I'll just read them to you. They touch on all the different aspects of what Ananda, or many of the different aspects of what Ananda is doing. This is from someone in Brooklyn. Ever since I discovered Master's teachings through Ananda, I have felt like I finally found what I was seeking all these years. My heart overflows with the joyful feeling of having finally reached home. I am honored to be able to support this good work of Ananda so that it reaches many more truth-seeking souls everywhere. The next one's from a Berliner in Australia. Thank you so much to all of you at Ananda for this fantastic website I visit every day for inspiration, study, and music. Swami Kriyananda is the most wonderful teacher ever. I love his sense of humor. Lots of love and God bless you. This is from Fresno. I am making this donation out of the joy in my heart. I have received many encouraging, helpful, and loving suggestions for prayer from the Healing Prayer Ministry. My consciousness is high and my heart is more open. I see many possibilities and am so happy. So I am making this donation to support the wonderful work that you do with the desire that others will benefit from your loving service. Thank you. God bless you. This next one is from Belgium. As a Flemish Kriyaban, I appreciate very much the audiovisual contact with the worldwide Ananda family and that means all of us that are watching today. I enjoy especially the video talks and Sunday services. They are very inspiring and make me enthusiastic and joyful. Thank you very much. This next one is from a devotee in New York, and it was after we had sent them some special archival material they had been looking for. This is so kind of you. If not for such sweet souls at Ananda, I would have given up on this world some time ago. This one is from Singapore. I give this gift in gratitude for everything that you all at Ananda have done to share Paramahansa Yogananda's teachings with the rest of the world. I'm a regular visitor to the free online inspirational material, and Swami Kriyananda's music has been a source of upliftment, calm joy, comfort, and solace. Thank you all. Here's one from India. I am a spiritual follower, and I was longing for Kriya Yoga. Your efforts to spread Kriya Yoga are the greatest help that mankind can have to get rid of all the pains and sorrows of the world. Here's from someone in Florida who recently attended a Kriya retreat that Dave and Maria Warner gave. When people ask me how my Kriya Yoga retreat was, I am totally unable to adequately relate the awesomeness of the experience. This precious experience is still resonating within me, and the world is such a shallow place in comparison. I just opened my envelope of rose petals that were showered over us as we stood in the radiant light of our Kriya initiation. Thank you all for being a part of this unforgettable time. Here's one from closer at home from California. Ananda is a great blessing to me and to the world, bringing the light of God to the souls of many and uplifting the consciousness of all. Thank you, blessings and joy. This one is from the United Kingdom. I hope Ananda will continue to help all people in need of spiritual upliftment in this difficult and trying period of our race. Thank you for bringing a lot of light into this world. And finally, from Australia, Ananda is the most important thing happening in the world today. So as I say, these are 10 out of many, many thousands that we have received. The expansion that we see happening in a time where our fundraisers tell us nonprofit organizations are struggling all over the world, and somehow we find ourselves on solid ground. More people than ever before, more new-time guests are coming to the expanding light in a troubled and challenged economy. What we have is what people need. What we can be channels for is the greatest gift that we can offer to the world. So it is with great gratitude and humility that we are here with you all tonight. Sometimes I'm sure you all have this experience, but you look at a group of Ananda people and you think, what did I ever do to live with people like this? And here we all are in our humility, in our sincerity, sharing Master, no matter what our personal challenges may be, but giving and giving so that this great mission, this second coming of Christ that Master brought, can be born in the world. In this Christmas season, with this first gift, our prayer for each of you is that you may find Christ born in your own heart. God bless you.
The Christ child's asleep, the silence is so deep, that round about with hope in their eyes, the animals await, their breathing they abate, they know their time has come to arise. For Jesus came on earth to offer second birth to all who would the blessing receive. kept us long bound. The ropes of yearning hemmed us round. We dreamed of imposing on desert sand flower gardens of beauty, verdant vales of delight. Imagination misted our sight. The freedom we would know, Christ offered long ago. souls call thee, make us thy own. How many is so proud of our wisdom, turning from God we wandered alone. So many years we boasted but madness. Now our souls call thee, make us thy
We'd like now to take our offering, and I was reflecting on what Jyotishan Devi said 26 years ago when we celebrated World Brotherhood Day. Ananda Assisi was very, very fledgling, almost a gleam in our eye. We had no thought yet of going to Ananda, India, though of course it had always been part of Swamiji's vision for Ananda. But this past year, I think another incredibly inspiring thing to know about the growth of our ministry is that in this past year, 270 countries, that is, people, truth seekers from 270 countries, in other words, every country on this planet visited the Ananda website, downloaded pages, and drew from Master's wealth that is offered there, and we're uplifted by it. So when we use the phrase now, World Brotherhood Day, there is a power in that has grown simply through what we're about to do. Each of us coming forward and putting into a basket what we may feel in the moment is a very small gift. Each of us wishes we could do more. But it's this, over 26 years, that has brought us to every country in the world, drawing from Ananda. I'd also like to invite those who are watching us real time through our webcast. Our wonderful gentlemen in IT services have arranged things so that on the little screen that you're watching in your home, just below it, you'll find a button. By pushing on that, you too can make your first gift of the season to the Spirit of Christ that pours through Ananda's outreach ministry. It will take you directly to the secure giving, online giving page. And just make sure that you let us know that this is your World Brotherhood Day offering, because for everyone gathered here, for everyone who makes a gift online, we have a special gift for you. It's a beautiful new painting that not many of us have seen, and holding it up is a travesty because it's so lovely. You'll have to look at it. It's by Jyotish. It's called The King of the Infinite, and it's a painting of Master sitting in the spiritual eye and looking at the cosmos floating before him. He's the tiny bubble of laughter in the sea of mirth itself, is the way that I love to think about this. And so this is our gift to you this evening, and for anyone who feels to join us by making a gift online as well. So, but before we make our offering, we'd like to do something a little different. I'm going to ask Davy to lead us in a visualization, and this will help us to further focus on the importance, the significance of this first gift to the spirit of the Christ consciousness. And we'll have the visualization, and then, as we do with the Festival of Light, we'll form 2 lines. Please come forward. We'll have quiet chanting in the background. And you can make your offering in a basket that would be placed here, and then go to either Jyotish or Devi for a blessing. And then Lisa Fontaine and I will give each of you the King of the Infinite. So let's begin with a visualization for our offering. Conclusion of the visualization, we will finish our webcast, and we'll have a more devotional period of time here as we make our offering. And you at home are invited to sit and meditate and bless your offering as well.
To lead into our meditation, our visualization, I think most of us know that Swamiji and a few others recently had the blessing of going to Medjugorje, where the Virgin Mary has been appearing to visionaries for more than 20 years now. It used to be every day, and now it's once a month. But many of those, there were 4 children, and I think 3 of the 4 still live there. And Swami said it was one of the most inspiring experiences of his life. And what he talked about was the presence of Divine Mother. He said Divine Mother precedes all forms. It precedes Mary, the Mother of Christ. It precedes all the manifestations that we see as forms of Divine Mother. And what Swami felt in that visit was simply the power of Divine Mother, the unconditional love, the caring, the compassion, the concern that exists in the divine consciousness for each one of us. So as we prepare to give, let's do a visualization on the Divine Mother. Let's close our eyes. Concentrating at the point between the eyebrows and also the heart. Feel yourself embraced in the peace and wisdom of the Divine Mother. Feel that she is acting through you as you make this simple gift. But pray too that she may act through you through the coming year, each day. And where you see sadness, may you bring joy. Where you see loneliness, may you bring comfort. Where you see illness, may you bring prayers. Where you see confusion, may you bring clarity. Where you see yearning, may you bring guidance in the spiritual life. Where you see the search for God, may you bring the presence of our Guru. And like Divine Mother, may you see all as your children, and may this gift that we give this evening, may it be blessed not only with our sincere wishes for the upliftment of mankind, but also may it be blessed by the grace of Divine Mother, through whose power all that we do is possible. All the help that reaches others is just an extension of the consciousness of Divine Mother. Feel her with you, and as you make this offering, pray that this little gift we give may be a token, may be a magnet that draws the power of the Divine Mother into this world to free people everywhere from the suffering of delusion into the joy of God's light. Let's chant Om and send out divine blessings into the world. May our gifts, may our lives be blessed with your grace.